Hey, how is I don't think we've talked to you for a little while. How's Cody's back doing?
Man, Cody's back is it's almost back to 100%. I mean, they gave him that surgery is like an amazing procedure, and we took the correct amount of time to heal properly. You know what I mean? To have him come back at full strength. You know, he's a young fighter. We don't want to have these like problems nagging him throughout his career.
Like Cain Velasquez,
you know, especially a spinal problem. You know, spinal. It's not like an ACL or an MCL where you have another knee. You only have one spine. So we took the proper time. He's rehabbing correctly, and he's almost back to where we can go, you know, full MMA. So he's doing great.
Let me ask you, because I want to see which one of your buddies should get thrown in a locker. Who's the guy who took the video of him wrestling drunk with a big Dan Castillo? That alpha male should get a fucking wedgie, and you should, you know what I'm saying, Justin? Put that guy through some extra paces. The guy who fucking leaked that shit to TMZ or whoever the fuck that. You know what I mean? Who is that guy? He revoked his hangout pass.
Well, we're gonna put a bounty on him.
Yeah, shit, man.
Body shot KO on this guy.
I'll tell you, who the fuck is that guy? Anyway, I'm just letting you know, man, because that looked like somebody had a phone pretty close to that. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I don't know, man.
Yeah, that guy had
maybe TJ
right
TJ has a spy in the group still, starting some drama.
Yeah, you're gonna get a sleeper cell look in Team Alpha.
And there was a lot, Cody said that if TJ had fought Demetrious and lost, didn't Cody say, "I'll never fight you if you do that? I won't give you the shot." So when all this talk about Dillashaw against Demetrious, how did you feel about that?
Man, I just thought it was kind of, there was really no real grounds for that fight. I mean, Cody had called the plan. I'm going to go down to Demetrious, stop him before he breaks Anderson Silva's record. You know, drop down and challenge him for his belt. He's saying he's got no fights. He's top of the pound. Go do that at 25. Make a super fight for him. And then once Cody's back got hurt, TJ said the exact same thing. You know. And Dana White acted like he was so excited about it, but I felt like that was just him trying to put pressure on Cody to stay in that fight, on July 8th, you know, because he was originally the main event. So I feel like there's just a lot of pressure for him to stay there, and that was the kind of TJ build-up, because there's no real grounds for the fight. I mean, TJ is not the champion at 35. He lost to Cruz. Cruz beat DJ. Cody beat Cruz, so Cody should fight DJ. You know what I mean? And Cody is the champion. TJ is not the champion, so there's no super fight. You got a guy who doesn't have the belt at 135, dropping to 125 for the first time, and he gets a title shot against the guy who's on his 11th defense. It doesn't really make sense. Like, it's a good job you can make the weight. You know, that's awesome, but that's like the biggest thing that TJ brings to the table right now when trying to make that super fight.
That's a great point.
Justin, you know, I've been on that Ultimate Fighter, and I coached it. I won it the season.
You won.
But that's not the point. No, I don't want. I'm not bringing it up for that.
Did you get to fight anybody for that?
Well, no. That's not the point.
A few months after.
Listen.
I forgot about that.
Thank you so much, guys.
We talked about that first round knock. We talked about that last time, that first round knock of GSP. So what about that few minute rear naked choke on Shinya Aoki? I watched that the other day in Abu Dhabi. Shinya Aoki, the greatest grappler in MMA history, goes up against Matt Serra.
That's wrong. I'm not saying you're getting your Asian fighters confused. It was Gomi that I strangled.
Oh, was that in Abu Dhabi?
Yeah, it was the Gomi. But hey, you know,
I'm the Asian guy.
Tomato.
Not a good look.
But listen, thank you. But where am I going with this? This is where I'm going. I've been on that show, so I lived it. I know what it's about. How do you think you were portrayed on that? Now, a lot of time there's editing, man. Do you think you guys it was fair the way they edited that? Or how do you think you got, I don't know if you watched it.
Honestly, it was completely fair because, you know, it's not like they can make up stuff.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I take that back because I watched the episode that we won, the one fight that we won.
Yeah.
I watched that episode, then I watched the first two episodes. And on the second episode, Cody and TJ are walking to make a fight announcement. And they're like jawing back and forth. And TJ goes, Cody, you know I won that fight with Cruz. And I say, TJ, I think you did win that fight. And then the camera cuts, and it's like another scene, and it shows them announcing the fight. When in reality, I was walking behind them. I go, TJ, I did think you win that fight, but Cody beat his ass way worse than you did. You know, and he goes, yeah, that's true. And we kind of played that out. And they edited to show that I was like supporting TJ. I'm like, hey, buddy, you did win that fight. And then after that, I was like, I'm not watching this anymore. But when I get trolled every Wednesday night, I'm like, oh, the Ultimate Fighter must.
I know.
You know, the whole dynamic. Yeah, the whole dynamic of that show was, you know, it was 2 years of you know, Manny Dwayne, but you know, it was TJ and Dwayne and their fans and all the Bang Muay Thai fans saying that, you know, Alpha Male was nothing and it was all Dwayne, and then Dwayne was saying that none of us wanted to be champions, and we all were like really upset about that, and he would do media interviews and say stuff about our team, and then he would post things about like the virtual, like when Cody fought Thomas Almeida in the main event, Dwayne posted like, I love this kid's style, and he was a guy who used to train Cody, so it's kind of bizarre. He's like, I like this kid's style, and it was like a highlight video of Almeida, and then he posted the EA Sports thing of Cody getting knocked out in the simulation for Almeida, which they were, you know, completely wrong. It was Cody knocking out Almeida in the first round, but the EA Sports did that, and he posted that. And so it was like 2 years of him doing this stuff, this like passive aggressive behavior to the team and whatnot. And we were just waiting to see him in person and get our hands on him or whatever, you know, like throw down with him. So when we're there all angry and aggressive, it's like 2 years of stuff. But, you know, they did a good job by just trying to play like, oh, what's going on? We just want to get along and whatever else. But, you know, the fans and the people who are watching don't know the backstory. Well, I mean, a lot of the hardcore fans do, but, you know, when they just see just coming off like aggressive, like Cody run around the wall trying to sock somebody and whatever else, I'm trying to pick a fight with Dwayne. It's like, man, these guys had this stuff a long time coming, you know?
One of my favorite things, Justin, is Cody at the house. I seen the clip. I didn't see the episode, but I seen the clip when he's hanging with the boys. I fucking love that.
Yeah, he might have tipped a couple back.
He kept saying, hanging with the boys. And at one point, his girlfriend or his fiance is just like, you're acting like a douche. It was fun. Listen, but it was great, though. I like Cody. I think he's fun.
Man, Cody is, you know, whatever. This is a kid who's had, you know, the last time he had a drink before that Ultimate Fighter show was his after party with Thomas Almeida. Like, you know, he is a disciplined athlete, and they just showed, like, you know, it was just edited to show what they wanted to do. And it was a great narrative of Cody being this crazy hothead and TJ being like a great coach, you know? I mean, what were they supposed to do? They won all the fights. You were like completely skunked. You didn't pick no wrestlers, you know?
Hey, man, you could be a dedicated athlete and still want to hang with the boys.
Very true.
Right?
Yeah.
And
so hanging with the boys is from Cody's uncle Stingray, who's his boxing coach. Like, since he could put on gloves, and he told Cody one time, he was like, it was a picture of all. He's like, Cody, post this on my Facebook. He's like, right, hanging with the boys with the Z, Cody, a Z. So ever since then, boys.
I freaking love it. I can't get enough of it. And then I saw on YouTube there was a remix of Hanging with the Boys. Dude, I have too much time on my hands, I think, watching this shit.
Hey, Judd, did you try I'm obsessed with Cody's, that sinus treatment he does with the balloons. I forget what it's called. I've heard that it works. I've also heard it doesn't work, but Cody swears by it. Did you have that done? Did you try that? Because Uriah said he hated it.
Yeah, so that was on the show as well when Uriah got it done, and he was like freaking out. It was great. It was great TV, but Cody actually set him up for that because he knew that he wouldn't want to do it if he saw how painful it was. So it's like, you got to go first, and Uriah, you know, he got put on the spot, so of course he's going to do it. But it's called craniofacial release, or like CFR. And there's like 28 bones in your face that are like floating around your nasal passages and whatnot in your skull, and those can get compressed from getting punched for 10 years, or you know, you're just from boxing and trauma and whatnot. And the balloon goes in your nasal cavity. You have 6 of them, 3 on each side, and it blows it up with like a little CO2 cartridge or something, and it expands it back out so you can breathe again. You know, like it's really amazing. Like I feel like it helped my vision, my sense of smell. Like my ears were clicking. I've had it done like probably 12 times or 15 times or so.
Well, you're saying there's three what? I'm sorry. There's 3 nasal, or there's 3 balloons?
There's 3 nasal passages on each side. So each nostril, your sinus cavity, there's 3 on each side. So they can put it in each one of those and clear them. Like, you know, especially if you have any like deviated septums. And I had a terrible deviated septum where I couldn't even breathe. I was like a mouth breather. And now my nose like works great with no surgery, or, I mean, it can do what surgery can't, because if you have like a blockage, they have to cut you open break the bones with like a hammer and chisel. You can watch this stuff on YouTube or do whatever, clear out the passage. But this actually just expands it back out, so there's no surgery, and it is. I mean, it's a 10-minute procedure.
How long does it last for?
Forever.
Wait, I thought you said you've had it done a bunch of times, right?
Yeah, but it gets better each time. Like, so they put a balloon up there. This guy's like, I'm like, let's go, let's do this. He's like, oh, are you sure? I'm like, yeah. He doubles up the balloon, like puts 2 balloons on it and blows up my nostril. I'm like, yes. It's like the worst pain, but it feels so like relieving afterwards. It's pretty wild stuff.
I'd be worried about like choking to death. I mean, didn't Cody have like he like pulled it out of his mouth like an hour later? Like, oh, that's not supposed to be there. Right or wrong?
Yeah, there was like a piece of the balloon. Oh. But actually, Danny Castillo on the show, he's getting it done for like his second time that day. And you're supposed to take a gulp of air and like swallow it right when they inflate the balloon. Yeah. And he opened his mouth, so the balloon inflated and shot out of his mouth. So he was like a fish on a hook. You know, the guy or Dr. Petrick had the balloon in his nose, and he grabs a toothpick. Like Danny's like trying to grab his hand like a movie, and I grab Danny. I'm like, calm down, bro, calm down. He's like on the table with a balloon coming out of his mouth, and then Dr. Petrick grabs a toothpick and tries to pop the balloon. The toothpick breaks, so he grabs another one, pops the balloon, pulls it out, and he was fine. But
can I